Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst and retired four-star U.S. Army general. He's General Jack Keane. General, great to have you, sir. Your reaction to Catherine Herridge reporting, and also Jennifer Griffin there.
Yeah, well, certainly, the Trump administration is conducting an offensive strategic campaign for the first time in 39 years against the Iranians, and as opposed to something that's piecemeal, it's comprehensive, and the maximum pressure is clearly having an impact. Iran is now operating from a position of weakness, and actually, the president's decision to restrain in the use of force has given him leverage with our allies, which flies in the face of what the Iranians were trying to do, and that is put pressure on the allies so they can push President Trump to ease up on the sanctions. And actually, the president, as we all know today, is increasing the sanctions. So it backfired on the Iranians. If it was their intent to shoot down the drone, I'm not convinced it was. But if it was, the United States is in a much stronger position today. Secretary Pompeo's out in the Middle East trying to stitch together a coalition of nations to guarantee the safe transit of our tankers through the Persian Gulf and the Straits of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman. So I think we're going to get more allied support than we've had in the past, and that's a good thing.
You know, Republican Senator Tom Cotton is worried that if the U.S. did not set up a firm set of boundaries, Iran could attack a U.S. ship or manned aircraft. Your response to that? Well,
let's just assume that we took down the batteries the other night and the radar systems that purportedly were responsible for the drone. I'm not convinced we're in any better position if we had done that. I think we're in a much better position today because we did not do it. There was a restraint on the use of force. Now, if they attack a ship, if they attack manned aircraft, if we lose, obviously, tragically, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, there's definitely going to be a kinetic response. Make no mistake about it. So I'm not concerned about that. The other thing we've got to think about is the strategic offensive campaign is working. We don't want to do anything that distracts from that. The Iranians are trying to get us off that track. And we've got to be careful about the ladder of escalation. Once you start working up that ladder, you do A, they do B. You do C, they do D. Then the tension in the world rises up rather dramatically, and the pressure on the United States to pull back on the sanctions is exactly what the Iranians want. So we've got to be careful about how we do this.
General Jack Keane, thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Great insight there.